Welcome everyone. Let me introduce our speakers. From AKBANK Innovation Center, Vice President Selim Yüksel. From Garanti BBVA Crypto Digital Assets, Head of Product Barış Özus. And from Yapıkredi, Head of Innovation and Ecosystem Management, Aydın Cankat. Welcome. Last year, we also held another similar panel. Mr. Selim was also there. And of course, lots of things have changed since then, especially the banks have adopted blockchain technology. They invested in those areas and cryptocurrency. So the banks have started getting closer to the industry. I remember that last year we were talking about metaverse and NFT, and suddenly AI became a part of our lives, and all the companies have started adapting to. And on the other hand, there's a serious economic crisis going on all around the world. It goes on in a micro manner. Turkey is obviously a different story. Every day we hear a new story, new problem. But yes, there is huge investment in the industry and there are some positive developments. Let me start with a common question. The interest in cryptocurrencies have increased since last year. What do banks think about that? What do investors think about this? Do they see it as an innovative investment tool, or what do they think about it? Mr. Selim, let's start with you. Thank you. I think when we try to understand what's going on, we try to look at the big picture. Recently, in Turkey and all around the world, there is going to be a transfer of money. If it are to talk about Genzi, yes, rich people are getting richer. And when we look at the distribution of that richness, of that wealth, we see that most of them are still in non-financial assets, which are things like lands, cars, houses. But this is getting less and less. And of course, this also means that the digital assets are increasing. So independent of the technology behind it, independent of the benefits, the wealth distribution will be positively affected by the current factors. So I think it's important to see this as an investment tool, investment product. Okay. Mr. Barış, what do you think? I think we have to look at different segments and how the approach to those products seem to be shaping. Actually, many people have been accumulating this product, and there is a group of people who are opportunists. We call them opportunists. They come and go depending on the market trends. And then there are the traders. They trade cryptocurrency, but then tomorrow maybe they will be open to trading another financial instrument. And when we look at the multiple distribution of the products, we see that the products are intersecting. And of course, at Garanti Bank, we see that people are really interested in our products. And this demand started with pandemic and continued throughout the inflation period and turned into a hedging instrument. So I can say that the customers, they just want to trust someone and they just want to see an infrastructure that is worthy of that trust. And if they find it, if they think they find it, they want to continue or complete their journey there. So I think building trust is important. Yes, trust is very important. I will be talking about that. Mr. Aydın, what do you think about it? Yes, I agree with them. I think the answer is the answer given by both of the gentlemen. For the investors, yes, this is a new generation investment tool. It's easy to access. This allows users, even those users that cannot access the system, to also enter the system. So for us, it's very important. I'm not talking about the cryptocurrency only. Blockchain also incorporates different solutions, and it can lead to greater things. So the answer is yes, both of the answers are correct. And of course, with the new regulations and with the banks coming into play, things will change. But I think slowly people will begin to trust. So things will get stronger. This industry will get stronger. Mr. Selim, back to you. So AKBANK is leading the innovation investments, and last year we talked about Web3 in Blockchain Week, but this year AI is the star. What does AKBANK do about that? What does AKBANK do about artificial intelligence? Do you use it? Honestly, yes. As you say, every year there's a new hype, and we are talking about that. And today, this year, we are talking about generative artificial intelligence. But these artificial intelligence activities, they are definitely not new, especially for telco, which rely on big data. So looking into the past, we cannot say that this is completely new. With regards to next product to buy or login analytics, when we look at them, these things always gave us foresight. And I can say that yes, these are AI tools that we are actively using. AKBANK Assistant is also another example of how we use AI, artificial intelligence. Until recently, people could only communicate with AKBANK digital assistants by typing, and now they can communicate verbally. And of course, with the new hype, we've begun to look for new ways we can integrate into our system. And another way we use it, the artificial intelligence summarizes huge blocks of data or reports. For example, there might be a huge report that analyzes shares, and the AI, what does it do? It summarizes it. It just brings out the highlights, the important parts of it. And also there is another aspect with regards to the coding. In addition to the tools used by developers or technical people, there are the tools made available by great technology producers. Another thing is content creation. In other words, context creation. When you prompt an answer, the generative AI produces contents and actually produces SEO compliant content, especially in recent year where digitalization is very important. This allows you to create content without needing to employ the services of an agency. And the last thing I want to mention about how we use artificial intelligence is the co-pilot applications. For example, Microsoft has a product. Multiple models, data entry. This is an example. This could be vocalization. This could be audio input or visual input or a text. Of course, the tools in terms of investment, there are lots of complicated products. There are lots of services that support these endeavors. We are planning to launch them very soon. Okay. Mr. Barış, back to you. This is an important topic, obviously. Please don't misunderstand me. Garanti is using the word crypto. Crypto is also associated, had a negative connotation in the past, but it's not like that anymore. So I want to ask you about that. Our people are here and they are waiting for the latest news. Jokes aside, so when Garanti decided to buy crypto money, what inspired you? After all, you're a very old bank. You're an old bank. When you decided to enter the industry, probably other banks also felt encouraged, and of course, obviously, people too. What do you think about that? What is the future vision and strategy of your bank? Actually, at Garanti Bank, you know that it's a leader of innovation. I don't know, maybe it's because I was born there, or maybe it's because I'm a child of Garanti Bank. It's always been like that for us. If there's an innovation, Garanti does it first, and the other players, they follow. So our long-term vision has innovation at our core. So we have been following the demand in this area with all the other players in the industry. 1 year ago, we started working very hard, and of course, we had lots of problems, obviously, especially with regards to finding resources, because of course, people are talking about lots of things, blockchain and cryptocurrency and things like that, but we felt it. And we weren't able to find resources that were really experienced or knowledgeable about those things. So in Turkey and BBVA group, we decided to build the best team that is possible. We wanted to find the best people in this area, including cybersecurity. So we spent a lot of time bringing together people like that. And after we built our team, we detected the problems in the industry. We addressed those problems. Looking at how the market looks at the moment, things are in a reverse mode at the moment. Normally, there are big banks, there are small and medium-sized banks, but at the moment, small players have built a platform where they are the players, big players, and we know that the banking industry is colluding with them and is making possible what those small players couldn't do. So we are trying to get a share of this cake. So I can say that what we are doing is using the cutting edge technology. We are trying to create new benchmarks and try to bring the game to our field. We will be talking about that later again. Mr. Aydın will continue with you.
I want to ask a question about CBDC. Many of the countries have passed the testing stage. What kind of changes have occurred throughout the world, and also what is the recent situation in Turkey? You know that in the Turkish Central Bank there is a certain project regarding the digital Turkish money, and we know that very recently we're not expecting any real developments, but we know that this is really an existing project, so crypto sector is going to be affected deeply with this move. This is what I can say. And also, other than this, you know that in Europe, in Switzerland, in the Far East countries, in Japan, in Singapore, regulation is also being handled in a concrete way. And also in the European Union, there's another directive which is being implemented right now. So globally, we know that on the side of cryptocurrency and also in terms of CBDC, we know that there is positive progress, and Turkey will definitely benefit from all this. But we know that in terms of regulations, and together with that CBDC, we know that the cryptocurrency's future in Turkey will be just progressing in a positive manner. We know that in terms of the banks, they are just acting as if there is a certain regulation, but in the end that will turn out to be an official regulation. After that regulation is established, when we just go to the final user, what will be the role of traditional banks like yours? Well, maybe up until now we will benefit from the experience that we have had, because without regulations in the past, we had certain projects. The international money transfer was the first journey, and also the VDAT platform was something that we collaborated with, and also between the central banks, we have been a part of a network. So even if we do not have any regulations right now, we are just receiving consultancy from various parties, and we're just moving forward based on that knowledge. So based on our experience, we have seen that many banks, they have their own distribution channels, they have their own sales power, and if these are just being directed in a positive manner, and if the technology is invested there properly, then definitely blockchain system could be established with establishing smart contracts to carry out certain foreign trade issues, foreign trade transactions. So tens of companies have been a part of this. This really is just making a great difference. There is a great support after sales support, and they have a wide network. So when the regulation is established, if we are to start that with the mobile applications, if you want to just make an investment in cryptocurrency, if they were to come to any branch of our bank, then there will be the proper technology to consult them, to direct them. So we are really just adapting in a very fast manner. We think that this adaptation will be very quick. So I just think that this will be a very quick adoption in terms of the cryptocurrency, and the banks will be a part of this. And in terms of Garanti Crypto, I have many questions in mind. We do not have so much time. I just want to ask a few questions. First of all, as far as we know, the product is right now used within the bank. It's in the beta, in the test version. In terms of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and also actually these are being tested right now. These are handled in a roadmap. So when could this product be officially presented to the end user? We know that it should be exchangeable. We know that it's being tested right now. There are certain transparent cryptocurrency versions. Will these be just expanded in a wide range? What is your perspective? Well, 3 weeks ago, family and finance is a motto that we just use in order to present this product. So only the personnel of the Garanti Bank, they will be just benefit from this product. So this is just like a live learning process for us. We are testing, we are learning at the same time. This is a technology that we're using in an unknown area. And we have established a team actually just from scratch, and we have just made an investment. So we're just testing if everything is just going on the right path. So we have a certain pipeline, we have certain dates set. So before just going to the end user, and also afterwards, we want to just reach out to the social networks of every user, and that we want to just reach the entire population. I just don't want to mention any exact date, because maybe we're just planning things for a 3-month term, but maybe that could be faster. Maybe it could take only 1 month. So things change so quickly. And in terms of exchange of these products, their purchase and sales, we have just started working on this also. So this is not a subsequent procedure. We are just carrying all these in parallel to each other. So I believe that in the coming year, this transaction service will be just implemented. Right now, the coin coverage is done with Bitcoin, Ethereum. We're just working on it. And on the trading side, the coin coverage, considering that we are a bank, and in order to ensure our customers with this trust, we can say that specialists and experts are handling the entire process. So we just want to give this trust to our customers. We are moving to increase our Bitcoin coverage. So I think that this will be just covering the majority of the markets. But if we are to consider some other sub-coins, we really give a great importance, attach a great importance to the security of the customer. I'm a customer of the Garanti bank for a long time, so if you would like to implement any test on my accounts, I'm just willing to take part in this. I'm sure that Yapıkredi bank, in terms of cryptocurrency and also blockchain, you should also have certain projects going on. Could you please give information about those ones? Well, as Yapıkredi bank, blockchain technology is not persistent for only a few years. It's been a hype actually for a long time. It's not like metaverse. Actually, we cannot really name it to be a hype right now, because it's already a sound technology, and in the future it will be just concretely providing services to the end users. So in terms of Yapıkredi, I can say that in consideration of other technologies like AI, we are also interested in the blockchain technology. So we want to provide our customers at the right time, in the right framework, in the best way. You can remember that we had an avalanche pipeline. We had a session like that, a question and answer session. So this was really a statement describing how Yapıkredi Bank is just approaching the blockchain technology. And just as our competitors are doing, we are working on this, and we want to provide the best services, the right services to our customers in the right way. We will do this for sure. Mr. Selim, I want to ask you a similar question. Looking at AKBANK, what is the vision of AKBANK? As far as I see, Web3, blockchain, these words are mostly referred to by AKBANK. Maybe cryptocurrency is not mentioned so frequently, but I can see that there are certain investments made and also projects are going on. What is the final situation there? Well, in terms of blockchain products, providing services in this area, we've been working on this for about 6 years. And we divide the projects on two sides. There's the project side, the project aspect where the customers are receiving certain services, and there is the effects, the impact, which has to be taken into account. And looking at the projects, we can see that some of them have been successful, some of them have been completed. There have been certain ones actually which have been closed. For example, a certain company, a certain firm collapsed, was broken down. Therefore, we had to cover, we had to close certain projects. The 60% of this area is actually unknown for us, so maybe all the risks that we're taking we have come across certain projects that we had to close down because certain companies have failed. And in Davos also, we just made another initiative. AKBANK has been one of the partners of UDPN. You all have used SWIFT technology, you know. The CBDC and regulated stablecoins, they will also be making use of this SWIFT technology. So there will be a messaging protocol and there will be a network established to do this. There are certain global banks, Deutsche Bank and AKBANK has been a part of this network. Considering the CBDC work that has been implemented, 19 of the countries are working on this, and Turkey is one of them, and it's already been considered to be a pilot project, so maybe not very close, but in preparation, we can say that we have increased our investments in this area. There is the central exchange. The bank has made this announcement to the public community. We have given the news to the public about this. And in terms of finance, we are trying to come up with new projects because last year we just tried to enhance the awareness in the community. And that has already been established with the proper content. Actually, we already have that. But we want to just work on with carbon measurements. Everyone's wallets will be just including certain technology to measure the carbon contents. And we're just trying to find out, establishing a bridge, just connecting these technologies. So we will also be finding out an investors roundtable, actually, because it's really so difficult for us to provide any third parties that will be giving these services. And IBW23 is one of the organizations that is giving us support for such initiatives. We want to have the Web3 included, but there is no technical consultancy, technical innovation in that area. We just try to find ways to receive more technological support. And also, this is what we are doing in terms of Web3 aspects. So we can see that you're really working hard on it. So, Mr. Barış, let us go on with you. We know that security is definitely one of the most important issues. We know that cryptocurrency is one of the risk assets related with so many risks. So how could you really establish security for these funds? And also when we consider about the employees and all the other parties involved, what are the measures that you have taken to ensure security? Well, I can say that 100 investors in the crypto sector, 90 of them say that they are seeking security. And 60% of these persons, if there's a brand that they have known about for years, they say that they will just be a part of this if they have any brands that they already know about. So many of these people, they are just seeking companies, seeking those brands that they may rely on. So Garanti Bank, just as its name implies, is really coming out with innovation in the sector. So there are certain small groups which have been founded. We have certain experts who are knowledgeable in their own fields. So the onboarding stage and throughout the entire process, we are just working together with these people, and it's as if just writing these benchmarks down once again and designing them once again. So rather than saying security, we're just trying to give it another name, saying that people should feel comfortable about the entire process, because the users really and the people involved, they had certain bad experience. So we really want to give an ease in people's minds, and we want to carry out this slogan that people should be content in their minds, secure in their minds. So all the banks, we are working together, and we are just trying to figure out what kind of a regulation should be set in its place. So I think that all these are very valuable efforts, because we really don't have a world where one says, I have the regulation, just implement it. Because we have to say that that regulation should receive feedback from the implementers, from the sectors. So this is only how it will be perfectly implemented. So any bank entering into the sector, entering into this industry, that should be really in parallel with the regulation and also with the standards being defined once again. And when considering that the entirety of these efforts should be maximized in the most proper way. So I think that we are really carrying out efforts which has a great added value on every aspect. So banks are just moving as if the regulation has already been established, because this is really providing great ease for the regulatory body, because maybe they will have to just move on by trying to find ways to harmonize with the banks. And I want to ask this question once again. In the adaptation of cryptocurrency, Turkey is just taking a great role, just playing a great part globally. So when considering the regulation, how the regulatory bodies work, how do you think the community in Turkey should expand actually to reach a sufficient amount? Well, in Turkey, on the side of the development and also the user, etc., we can see that the investors are seeking ways that these are all accessible. The users are seeking ways that these should be accessible. There is the technology, the users, they are just requesting this, demanding this. So we can say that right now the regulatory body has to just move ahead. So there needs to be a positive implementation done by the regulation. So in terms of Turkey, there are certain legal issues, but with the implementation of any proper regulation in Turkey, that will be just turning Turkey into a blockchain center, a cryptocurrency center. Turkey will be in the middle of this, in the center of this. I'm in this sector actually for 5 or 6 years. That really is exciting me so much. So I want to thank each one of you, because I can say that this sector is just growing steadily. But looking at traditional companies, when the banks will be a part of this, this will be a more stable ecosystem for everyone. We have 1 more minute. So just briefly, I want to ask your comments with a question. In terms of regulations, will these come this year, or should we wait for a few blockchain weeks? What is your opinion about this? I don't think it will be late. It will not be delayed so much, because we're working hard. We know that AKBANK, Yapıkredi, they are all working a lot. So regulations, I believe, considering that there is so much work done in this area, and also the feedback received from companies and also from these relevant teams, they will be just shaping the regulation, and I don't think it will not be so ahead. I don't really have any specific date in my mind, but I can say that if you were to ask me this question 1 year ago, I would say I'm much more positive today. I think that maybe I asked the question last year, I don't remember the answer, but at that time we had certain checkpoints before us. We were just expecting some things to realize and waiting for some others to come. But I can say that in terms of the banks, the union of banks, everything is being carried out in consolidation. And if we are to go back, we can see that there is the open banking, digital banking, etc., and all the regulations made for this. So these are really constructive, and new rules have been presented so that these will be just facilitating every transaction, every movement for the benefit of the user. So I think that a similar move is to be made very close, and regulations will come out very close. Can you hear me? Yes. In 2024, we will see the regulations in place. Well, this is a really question that is difficult to answer, but I can say that expecting a constructive regulation, we as banks will play the greatest role, but in our hearts, we really expect that the soonest will be the better. But I think that was a great conversation with you. I hope the audience, they have also taken pleasure with this panel. Thank you.